You paid extra for that organic label. So why are you still getting industrial farming, long-haul shipping, and approved synthetic additives? You're not crazy to feel duped. The USDA standard is a baseline, not a halo. Stay with me. We're naming 5 well-known brands where the label checks out, but the practices behind it don't match what most people think organic means. Think global sourcing, monocrops, and inspections you can prep for. If you want transparency, better animal welfare, and real food, not a green marketing story, you'll want to hear every example and what to buy instead. Quick favor before we move on. If you appreciate this content, consider giving this video a like and subscribing to the channel. Believe it or not, more than 92% of viewers haven't subscribed yet. It's free and only takes a second, but it means the world to us. So did you subscribe already? Great, thank you so much for your support. Now back to the video. If the word organic meant pure, why does the rulebook still make room for dozens of synthetic add-ons and let inspections you can prep for slide by? That is not an accident. That is a system built to pass a checklist, not a sniff test. Let's start with the gap.
The organic food industry is a booming business. Certified organic products typically have a higher price point and may even be smaller in size or different in taste. But what exactly does organic mean? According to the USDA, organic by itself isn't necessarily a health claim. It just means the food was produced using organic methods. In 2014, brand consultancy BFG surveyed 300 shoppers. 70% purchased organic food and only 20% could define organic. These methods include a list of federal standards addressing things like soil fertility, pest and weed control, and animal grazing practices. But most people aren't actually aware of what it takes for a product to receive the USDA organic seal.
The USDA seal limits certain pesticides and bans GMOs. Good baseline, but it does not promise small farms, short trips, or cows with grass under their hooves most days of the year. You get compliance, not a postcard. The truth is, you are buying a standard, not a story. Now the real kicker, consolidation. The brands you grew up hearing praised for being organic now sit inside mega food companies. The logo stayed the same. The sourcing did not. When ownership shifts, the supply chain stretches. Costs drop. Transparency thins. Here is how that looks at scale. Big players scoop up legacy names, then feed them with global ingredient lines. You get organic corn syrup in snacks, long-haul trucking from multiple countries, and centralized plants that rinse, blend, and ship at speed. It is organic by rule. It is industrial by design. The rulebook even spells it out.
Despite a lack of knowledge, demand for organic food is at a record high among consumers, and it's only going up. U.S. organic sales surged in 2020, jumping by 12.4% to $61.9 billion. In 2018, organic food and beverage items cost an average 24 cents more than conventional food. With consumers being more health conscious than ever, they're willing to pay more for what they perceive as better, even if they're not quite sure that it is. Some shoppers are doubtful of U.S. organic food claims. Several investigations over the years uncovering organic label fraud have exacerbated consumer suspicion.
The National Organic Program allows over 40 synthetic substances under narrow conditions. And those annual inspections? They can be announced, which means floors get scrubbed, logs get tuned, and the cameras see the best day of the year. Stage-ready compliance. Take Cascadian Farm under corporate ownership. Still organic, but sourcing is global, and independent testing has found trace residues that sit under legal limits. The box shows a sunny valley. The system runs like a factory. Produce shows the same pattern. Earthbound farms scaled to tens of thousands of acres, built on monocrops and approved organic sprays. Central wash lines move tons of greens. When that kind of plant hiccups, one slip spreads wide. So what changes for you? Less pasture can mean thinner omega-3s in milk. Lettuce that rides cross-country wilts and loses edge.
Despite efforts to reduce fraud amid rising demand, many consumers still question, are organic foods safer? Are they more nutritious? And are they worth the price? The USDA's National Organic Program, or NOP, has been stepping up on investigations and enforcement, suspending or revoking 370 operations in the U.S. in 2020 alone. Organic farming was first introduced as a concept called humus farming in the early 20th century in order to address soil erosion and depletion.
The Industrial Revolution helped the farmer farm more with a better plow and with a tractor and an engine instead of a horse-drawn.
Truly organic, for your values, looks different. Short ingredient lists, added labels like animal welfare or biodynamic, and brands that name the farms or the region. Now let's name names. The 5 labels where the spirit gets lost. What if the carton, the box, and the cute farm name hide the same old industrial playbook? You buy a story on the front. You get a supply chain on the back. Let's start with the filter we're using. Scale that weakens pasture or soil work. Corporate pipelines that chase volume over place. Labels that hit the letter, skip the spirit. That is how you end up paying for organic, while the process looks like any other big food run. Brand 1, Horizon Organic. Critics point to industrial-scale dairies and thin pasture access. The result shows up in the milk. Lower omega-3s and CLA than milk from true pasture systems, which tells you the cows are not getting the same grass time or forage diversity. The carton passes the seal. The bottle misses the pasture mark. Brand 2, Cascadian Farm. Owned by a food giant, fed by a global network. Some lines lean on organic versions of processed inputs, organic corn syrup, organic flavors. Tests have picked up trace residues under legal limits, which signals a long, complex path where cross-contact sneaks in. The vibe says valley. The pipeline says worldwide. Brand 3, Earthbound Farm. Huge acreage, monocrops, and approved organic pesticides. Greens run through centralized wash and pack, fast. Years back, a high-profile spinach incident showed how one slip at that scale spreads far. Big lines move lots of leaves. They also multiply risk. Brand 4, Organic Valley. A co-op with a solid origin story now feeling the strain. Growth adds miles, packaging, and quality checks that can misfire. Recalls happen. Farmers report pay pressure while prices on shelf stay steep. The mission meets math, and math pushes hard. Brand 5, Annie's. After the buyout, recipes and suppliers shifted toward parent-scale sourcing. The box still reads organic or non-GMO. The back end runs a conventional playbook, just with certified inputs. So what do you buy instead without doubling your bill? Trade processed organic for simpler picks. Go local or regional dairy that says grass-fed or pasture-raised, seasonal produce from nearby farms, and packages that name the farm or region. Add animal welfare or biodynamic labels, and keep ingredients short. If this gave you something to chew on, hit like and subscribe. Now let's lock in the one rule that saves you money and cuts the greenwash. The seal is the floor, not the ceiling. Your best protection is brands that show you the farms, cut miles, and keep recipes simple, short lists, clear regions, no fluff. Read the back, not the front. Check who owns it. Look for pasture-raised and real animal welfare labels. Pick regional when you can. Like and subscribe to help us keep the spotlight on the food industry's best-kept secrets. Drop the marketing filter and you save money and guesswork. Want a wallet-friendly list of true standouts by region? Comment your city. We'll build the map next and flag the shops where the milk and greens still tell the truth.